Hello, you're watching Proactive. I'm joined by Danny Keating. He's President and CEO of Giyani Metals. Danny, you're out with an update on the construction of your demonstration plants in Johannesburg, and it looks like it really is full speed ahead following the drawdown of those IDC funds.
It is. Morning, Stephen. Thanks for letting me join you today. It's fantastic news. We obviously completed the financing, and in this market, completing financing is a fantastic achievement in itself. But obviously, it's allowed us now to really accelerate the progress that we want to achieve at the plant. The news out today is the start of a series of updates that we'll give the market. We know people have been very anxious to find out where we are with the plant, and I'm happy to report, and the pictures in the release will show that the project is being built, and they can see probably the scale of what's being built there. And I think when we look at the plant, and I think it's worth us maybe just reiterating, is the scale of this plant is a 1 in 10 engineering scale. And so when it's being built, this will be one of the largest of its size in the manganese battery space. It's an incredible facility in its scale. It allows us to do continuous operations. That's very important. We're not batch testing here in small amounts. We're doing a continuous flow of the process. And what this ultimately means, why build something this big and this and complex in its own way, is because the ultimate goal here is to sit with the customer and assure them that we're a credible supplier, that we have a process that they know they can rely on, both in terms of the supply of the material and the quality, the specification that they'll receive. That's what they want to see. And that's the pivotal part in, I think, the critical metal space at the moment, is suppliers like ourselves being able to demonstrate to customers that we're going to meet their needs credibly and reliably into the future. And the scale of this plant allows us to do that, to put product in their hands, and they can look forward and say, you've de-risked this area. You know how to do the process. We know you're going to give us the specification. We know we're going to get our product. And that's a key part of the plant itself, as well as the progress we're making in constructing it.
So really de-risking the project, as you say, Danny. What's happening on the ground at the moment? So you have 60 engineers and technicians on site, and they're going to be on site as you move forward from this point.
Exactly. So securing funds and mobilizing and being able to put all the subcontractors on the ground within the plant. So we have a lot of activity on the site itself. So we move in these modules or skids. They're self-contained units that have all of the process structures within them. They're built on that way because we need to be mobile. So we construct a lot of these and they're assembled offsite. So through last year, when we weren't advancing the plant as fast as we wanted to because we're waiting for the funding, we were able to fabricate and purchase a lot of the equipment. These are now being assembled onto these modules or skids, and they will be transported into the main facility. So it allows us to do a lot more construction rather than being a bit bottlenecked. If you're just in one confined space, you've got to kind of do it sequentially. Whereas here we're able to sort of continue construction both on site, and so there's preparations there for the new skids arriving, but also we're able to do work off site. So those are the technicians you mentioned, the 60. Those are the ones on site. There's a huge range that are off site who are also putting the skids and the equipment together.
You say in the press release that the project remains on track for commissioning and production in the fourth quarter of this year, and that's for off-taker testing. What's happening in the meantime? What are the steps you need to take to get there?
So we're on track. So we've obviously continued putting all of the equipment in. We've obviously then got to sort of do all the electrical, the piping, and all the other parts of that. Key part of that is also we're engaging with the customer. So what we're doing is going through the process of constructing is one part. We've then got an operating philosophy. So we're looking to bring in groups to assist us with that. So we have both. At the end of the day, you've got to build it, you've got to operate it. And then the key component is the engagement with the off-takers. So we've had very active discussions. We were in Washington last week at conferences, meeting groups there and meeting the off-takers, so that they're aware and prepared for the moment when we have the product. We can immediately pass it on to them. They understand what to expect and when. They can make sure their labs and facilities are ready and available to take the material, process it, and give us the response that we need. If it's in spec, great, then we start escalating. And again, it's back to the idea of the scale of the plant. We aren't just sending them a few grams or a kilogram. We have the ability here to send them tons of material over time. So they'll start smaller. They'll want to grow in terms of the amount of material they receive, but that's what we're able to do. And we know that they They have other options in terms of they might be looking at how they can manage their facilities. So we'll book those times and make sure we get good feedback from them in good time, because we want to move very quickly to securing offtake, which is a vital part, as everyone knows, of the project financing, which we want to complete through 2025.
Danny, you said there are going to be regular updates. What sort of news flow then should your investors be looking out for?
The plant is probably where everyone's focused. As a company, this is the critical element that we want to see progressed. So we'll make sure that we put out regular news flow on the updates of the plant. This is the catalyst for the business. Building the plant and having it successfully commissioned and product in the hands of the customers and getting that first feedback. It's a massive game changer for the business. We're very conscious that other companies too, they suffer from share prices that don't reflect necessarily the inherent value of the company. And we see this as the critical catalyst as we go through towards the end of the year and people see this plant in operation, in commission, and the feedback that we start getting from those customers. It'll be, to me, it's a total transformation of the business. So we accomplish that, and then we're able to move forward with very little hindrance in the way from there on. We keep on track in terms of our permits and licensing. So our mine license authorizations continue. We continue, as I said, working on the offtake side. We're in parallel running our definitive feasibility study. So that's active. And so that we come to the midpoint of next year when we're able to start working on our project financing, because we have all the ingredients we require to have a successful project finance.
Danny, anything else you'd like to add?
Just that things are very busy for us. We're away next week at the conference in Las Vegas. Very keen to meet any additional customers or groups that might want to reach out to us, any potential investors or shareholders. We're in that region, and so happy to meet with people while we're out in sunny Las Vegas.
Well, Danny, I'm sure we're going to be chatting to you again very shortly, but thank you very much for the update today.
Thank you.
That's Danny Keating. He's the president and CEO of Giyani Metals.